If I start laughing just randomly through this video, it's because my wife and my son are sitting on the beanbag chair playing the Switch, waiting for me to do this video because they want to watch some streaming stuff on Disney, and they're whispering. And it kind of sounds a little funny just hearing these whispers behind me. Like, I kind of think it's Slurpee, but he doesn't whisper to me anymore. Not anymore. And now they're laughing. And my son's also wearing his dirt bike helmet. So it's all just very strange. Very strange.
Should I come and show them?
Yeah, you can come show them, yeah. We have a young man who's very excited about going dirt biking for the first time, and that trip is coming soon. Give us a turn so they can see the profile here. Give us a turn. There you go. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. And you got smudges all over your lenses. Oh, I'm going to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank them. Thank you guys for the support. Motocrossing is coming into effect in the family. Well, it's Wednesday. It's additional thoughts. It's low end theory. And I had a difficult time this week with low end theory, and it's not because of track 8. Mostly it's because of low end theory being so highly regarded. Highly regarded. I've seen plenty of lists where low end theory was top 10 all time. And I enjoyed the reaction, and I remember listening to the album this weekend and, enjoying it. And my wife was listening to it as well, and she was enjoying it. But we were both kind of experiencing the same thing of, yeah, this is fine. It's fine. And I was like, if I have to come back on Wednesday and report mid on low end theory, people are going to kill me. So I kept digging, right? I kept digging. And one of the things I did was I took a break. I said, okay, we're going to set this to the side. This came out in 91. I think part of it is the fact that I wasn't there when this happened. I wasn't with hip hop and experiencing this album in real time. So I decided to kind of cleanse the palate again, as I like to say. And I put on Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. Really enjoy that album. 22 Twos. God, now that the camera's going, of course I can't rattle off all the tracks. Like 22 Twos, Friend or Foe, fucking Brooklyn's Finest, Feeling It. I really enjoyed Reasonable Doubt. It was fun to listen to that again, because it had been a little while. Then I put on 36 Chambers. Oh my God. Holy shit. That one came out in 93, and it blew me away how much difference there was between 36 Chambers and Low End Theory. Then I put on Ready to Die. Why not? Played some Biggie for a while. Again, loved that one. And I started to think, maybe this is the rocker metal side of me, wanting a little bit more of aggressive vocal style or something like that. I don't know. Workday comes around. And one of the things I like to do with albums is I'll listen to the albums multiple times through from top to bottom, and then I'll put them on shuffle. Because I always feel like shuffle is a great test for tracks, right? You put on an album on shuffle, and immediately you've got this thing in your head of, I kind of hope this one comes on next, right? I kind of hope this one. And if a different one comes on, you go, oh, okay. Or, oh, right? Like it's a real easy test on the go, no go if you like a song or not. I put Low End Theory on shuffle, and I was like, oh yeah, this one's cool. Oh yeah, this one's cool. Oh yeah. And I started realizing, okay. I like it. I like these tracks. Excursion's great. Bugging Out, Rap Promoter, Butter, Verses from the Abstract, Show Business, Vibes and Stuff. Track 8, I skip, no big deal. Check the Rhyme. For those of you who are concerned about my enjoying that track, I really like Check the Rhyme. Everything is fair. I like that song, especially since it's a story. But I kind of get, when it first starts, they play the sample a little too long. They repeat the sample a little too much. Tiny nitpick there. We've Got Jazz, great track. Sky Pager, What? Scenario. These are all great tracks. These are all great tracks. So then I'm like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, how do I have this opinion in my mind of Low End Theory and thinking, oh, it's fine, when I can go through each track on shuffle and go, yep, I enjoy it. And then I started to think about the style. And I think something that is both Low End Theory's super strength and maybe a weakness, if I don't want to say it's a weakness, but maybe a point of odd criticism. The album is so consistent. It's so consistent from beginning to end. It's almost misleading. It almost comes off as simple. I don't want to say basic, but like, this is something I hear with metal a lot, where you put on something that's really heavy to somebody who doesn't listen to heavy stuff, and they go, it all just kind of sounds the same. I don't consider myself to be an expert in hip hop just yet. I feel like I'm slowly working my way there. But Low End Theory kind of has this feeling of they all sort of sound the same. But even that's not true. Like, What? It's got that cool little electronic, funky beat that's going on to it. Excursion has that great bass line that every time I hear it, I think of White Rabbit. Show Business is cool. Rap Promoter. But, I mean, jazz, everything. All the tracks are great. But I do think that because this album, it is so consistent. It is a very consistent. Like, if you put this on, you know right away, this is Low End Theory. This is Tribe Called Quest. There's no question. You're not mistaking it for Jay-Z. You're not mistaking it for Wu-Tang or Biggie. These guys have a specific sound, and it's just consistent throughout. And I think really what goes on is the album, because it is so easy to listen to, and maybe because it is a little bit less aggressive than those other albums I talked about, it kind of like tricks my brain into thinking, oh yeah, it's fine. But it's so much more than just fine, you know? So then I really started thinking, okay, well, would this fall in my top 10? My own personal top 10? I don't know. And I want to say no, but then I really start thinking about, well, what is in my top 10? And then I think, well, would this squeeze in there? Would this beat out Ready to Die? Probably no. It wouldn't beat out Ready to Die. Would it beat out Wu-Tang? No. It would not. This would not beat out Wu-Tang 36 Chambers for me. Reasonable Doubt? I don't know. I don't know. So it's just been an interesting week. Because even now, I've probably listened to this album a dozen times. At least 4 or 5 straight. And then all the shuffles that I've done. I like it. I actually really like it, especially when I break it down into individual tracks. But maybe it's just one of those things where, yeah, I like the tracks, but I don't want to listen to the whole album, which is rare for me since I usually really enjoy an album format. But I think I also, in the album format, enjoy a little bit more range. And I think that's probably the ultimate sticking point with me, is that because the album is so consistent, their sound is so consistent, their lyrics, I mean, their lyrics are great in terms of like word plays and thought-provoking and all that other stuff, that I feel like maybe this just exists within a narrower range in terms of those aspects. Where other albums, they've got crazy loud songs, they've got slow songs, they've got angry songs, depressing songs, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little too neat and clear cut. And then I say all that and I think, meaning what? Does that mean I don't like it? No, I do like it. I don't know. I don't know what to make out of this. It's a very strange experience. But it is a very good album. I understand why people regard it so highly. I'm glad I really took the time to just soak in it. There was a couple comments people were talking about how, you know, I had said it felt like some of the production was a lot more on the basic side. And, you know, somebody had said, I don't know if it was Tribe's vision or just, you know, just a statement in general of sometimes less is more. And this is a very good example of that. Less being more. And it's well executed without a lot of extra, you know? They just get in there. They do what they need to do. They do it really well. And that's it. Moving on to track 8, which is the infamous date rape track. It was really, really, really cool. Reading people's comments, some back and forth in Discord, got some messages on Twitter. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys gave me regarding that track, how I took it. I have to assume that you guys saw me just go no on the reaction, right? Because that was definitely what I experienced. I'm glad I got all of your input and perspectives on it. And I think I think for the most part, it seems like those of us in this community are in agreement of what they were doing was meant to be positive, and for them to have a song about that at that time period overall was a good thing. It just wasn't really well executed, you know? It's a little cringy, this idea of, oh, a girl's not going to sleep with me because she's on her period. No, get over yourself, you know? But it is good to see that there is a thing of saying, hey, back off. You know, just don't get crazy. Don't go so far that you do something you're going to regret. You know, the forbidden touch and all that is just forget about it. Let it go. Let her be. Even though the angle that they use to justify allowing a woman to say no is pretty ego driven and kind of cringy in that respect. But there you go. You know, it was just really cool to get more input on that because I was not comfortable with that. And I'm still not. You know, I understand it more. I can appreciate it more, but I don't listen to it. I did listen to Georgie Porgy, as people told me to do. I'm really glad that was not on the album. I think if that track would have been on this album along with Infamous Date Rape, I don't know if that would have been doable. That would have been that may have been enough to sink the Low End Theory ship, so to say. And people have said too, you know, they have since then come out and said, hey, we really, really regret this track and all this other stuff. So, I mean, that's good, but it is interesting to just, I don't know, hear something like that and know that people feel that way. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. You know, not that I necessarily can do anything about that, but it's tough. It's tough to think that that stuff is still real and exists and people feel that way and will express those thoughts and emotions and even anger and hatred towards other people in that kind of way. Anyway, there you go. I don't want to beat that to death too much. What else do I have here on my notes? I think that's about it. Oh, it was cool to learn that there wasn't a lot of swearing on the album because I guess of Ron Carter and a couple other people like from the samples and stuff like, hey, we don't want to be part of an album that's full of swearing. So that was kind of neat to learn. And I guess that's it. You know, the biggest question in my mind with this album is, will I come back to it? How often am I going to come back to it and listen to it? Because when I listened to Illmatic, I didn't get it. You know, I didn't understand why that album was so great and so important and so highly regarded. I came into this one with more knowledge under my belt, but it took me a lot longer to appreciate what was happening. And I go back to Illmatic, I don't know, probably once every 2 months or so and listen to it again. And every time I put it on again, it sounds better. And I think I need to do that with this album too. I should maybe try and just put it in my mind of when I put on Illmatic, after Illmatic, listen to Low End Theory, just for the sake of letting that run through the system again and hearing it again. Because right now, I still honestly don't know how I feel about it, which is very strange, even after praising essentially every track on this album. You know, the track What, I loved, I didn't mention this during the reaction, but I love that line, what is a what without a gun? Or what is a gun without a what? Or however it goes. Because it really just paints that picture of somebody going, what, you know, like almost on the edge of completely losing it. It's like, that's a great line, brilliant line, even though I can't remember it verbatim right now. Favorite is Excursions. I love Show Business, so Verses from the Abstract was very cool. And Check the Rhyme, too. I did go back and enjoy Check the Rhyme. Okay, I'm just repeating myself. There you go. There's my additional thoughts for Low End Theory, all over the place that they are. Friday is Because the Internet by Childish Gambino, finally. And if you're watching this on Wednesday night, tomorrow is another Thursday night live stream featuring new artists, Bob's underground artist, Gauntlet, the Buag. The name is so catchy, I always have to pause and remember what it is. It's that good. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Also, I have a new camera. So this one is going to go away. I just have one problem left, and that is the video doesn't sync with the audio, and I don't know how to fix that yet. And I've been trying to figure it out, but I haven't spent that much time trying to figure it out. But it's here. It's right there. You can't see it. It's right there. All right. We'll see you guys.